Well, 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 here we are again. So, today's episodes are I Mud, which is about mud and androids. What else happens? I think some people start slapping each other. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but there's androids in it. Metamorphosis, which is the worst, and Journey to Babel, which I don't remember the storyline, but I do remember that there's Tellarites in it, who, they're a founding Federation member, but we never really see anything from them.
Yeah, one of the least explored factions.
Nobody wants to hang out with the pig people. And they do look really weird in this, so, fair. I wouldn't want to hang out with a Tellarite. They're freaky looking.
Very hairy people.
My issue with the makeup is more that they put a mask over the eyes that doesn't, conform to the eye socket. It's just, dangling over it. That description will probably make more sense once we see one. But the eyes look really weird. But yeah. Hopefully that episode's good. It's been an extremely long time since I've seen it. Spock's in it, if that helps. So the plotline, not a clue. So how's the weather?
It's a bit stormy in the UK at the moment.
Good, good. Plenty of lightning?
I haven't seen any lightning myself, but there's been apparently been some damage to certain buildings and things.
Good, good. Hopefully people you didn't like.
People I didn't know.
Well, they probably deserved it.
Ryan.
Yep, that's me. What's up? So, how... Soma, question, possibly.
Yes.
What's the dumbest answer a student has given about physics? And they wanted the people whose building was struck by lightning.
No, it's on the south coast of the UK, most believe that it's happened. I think some things well, there's been some weather in Ireland as well, of course. Don't know so much about that.
I don't really have anything else to say about Star Trek. I have a lot to say about Metamorphosis, but I have a whole separate video about Metamorphosis. Because I watched it some time ago because I want to make a video comparing that Zefram Cochrane to First Contact Zefram Cochrane.
Yeah.
And then I didn't make that comparison video because I was too hung up on just Metamorphosis being the worst.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting episode.
It's just... If Nancy Hedford was not in the episode, it would be 1,000 times better. But she's only there to be a meat puppet for the Space Cloud, who is not treated as an actual person at all. The episode treats her that she has no worth because she doesn't have a boyfriend, therefore it's a better existence for her that she gets possessed, because then she gets a boyfriend. If we just cut that part of the episode out, it would be fine. Oh, the 60s. An interesting time I'm glad to have missed. I don't know what the ideal time to live would have been, because, people romanticize about the past, but their past sucked.
Oh, absolutely. But today also sucks.
Yeah. What if we go back to, 70,000 BC?
Then you die very, very young.
300... Wait, press play in 4, 3, 2, 1, play. What? Nope, I missed. Hang on. Whatever. The stream's like, I'm 4 seconds behind. It's fine. I had a different window selected. Wait, didn't that guy die in a previous episode? Maybe not. Maybe it's a different guy.
Well, they're talking about that man, so.
Oh yeah,
let's not
Bones
go
sees
there.
it. But yeah, we could just go back like 300,000, 500,000 years, return to Monkey.
They had a life, I guess. I suppose.
Wow, Bones would
That
hate me
just,
because
yeah, that just sounds like, yeah,
it sounds like the man's just here to do his job, and you should leave him alone, Bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Spock.
and of being
What
forced
is
to
it?
make conversation with someone who's constantly checking up on him, seeing if he wants to make conversation.
Might make one avoid someone. Yeah.
Oh,
But no,
he's a
of course he's
robot.
evil.
Yep.
Oh, he smiles a little bit. No, he has emotions. It's fine.
He smiles in the face of danger, especially overload danger.
It's the only time a machine can feel alive. So whoever made these robots, they did a much better job at making them look human than Soong. Though I think the robots in this episode are a lot dumber.
Yeah, of course, this is, yeah. Well, this is another logic loop, how we beat it episode.
What if we just shoot all the androids? Jammed? What do you mean jammed? Are
Hmm.
these
They
are
just
these
poured a pot of
cogs?
jam on
What's
it,
happening?
like you did in Spaceballs.
Spaceballs, that takes me back.
No, it's too late. Kirky got karate chopped. God, I love how extremely obvious it is when they're using stunt doubles. They never look anything like them in HD. It's not even close. Like even in TNG, when it was still aired in low definition, they were very careful about not showing this double's face on camera. This show, they don't care.
That's more jam being poured into the circuitry. You'd never fix it now.
Very Admiral Patrick of him. All you have to do is put on the uniform and you're good. You can do whatever you want. Oh, don't believe him. Spock's in cahoots. They think the same.
Hmm?
Humanoid life, even the very term, is racist.
Hmm?
Oh, look at the bottom where it connects. There's a piece of scotch tape holding the as a hinge.
Nice.
Perfect design. Dr. Sung should have thought of that. Oh, but I remember that interior shot. They completely changed it for the remaster. I'm trying to remember what it looked like originally. Did they just like glue some gears onto his belly? I need to try to look it up. I don't know how to search for this. I'm looking up TOS Android flap. Maybe that'll... Okay, I got the remastered version. Ooh, someone did a visual effects comparison for this episode. Okay, I should be able to find it there. Oh, no, the original actually looks pretty good. They smoothed out the edges in the remaster. I posted it in the Discord general chat, the comparison.
The original actually kind of looks better in this case. In fact, it looks a lot better.
It fits more with the artistic styling of the show.
Yeah. And it looks more like it's part of the body rather than just an image superimposed on.
A casual mind meld.
Frickin' Vulcans. He's as bad as Tuvok. He tries to mind meld with everything. We want to like move him? We can put him somewhere else. Pick him up. I'm also listening in now to see if he's using contractions. If you do not,
You will. Yeah. Doing pretty well.
please? Is it please? Ah,
Yeah,
the
nice.
magic word.
Mm.
And it looks like that worked. They're just gonna go. It's fine. Yeah, I think they don't use contractions. Oh god. How did he get here? I'm assuming the android didn't let them beam down with a gun. Because they could just shoot Harry then. Oh yeah, because Chekhov wasn't here.
Yeah. Which just throw a little bit of a wrench in the works of him having been on the Enterprise in season 1, but whatever.
Do you remember why Harry was in jail? Because, I mean, I remember in the first episode he was like a human trafficker. But that was legal, wasn't it? What did he do?
I don't remember.
Maybe this is for the penetrating a space whale thing.
Hmm.
I'm looking at the summary of the episode on Memory Alpha. I have no idea what he did there. That was actually illegal. Earview, what did Harry Mudd do to get sent to jail?
Fraud. He's the original.
Hmm.
This episode's a little sexist. Remember how we were talking about like the original
A
series?
little bit.
In the original series, it cannot be.
Yeah.
Because it just portrays all women as like nagging wives.
But so
Like-
far, they're all just robots.
Yeah, not
Yeah, but
all women. Most of the women are just there for Harry Mudd to enjoy.
Yeah, so the entire point of him creating all this was to get away from his nagging wife.
That's true.
It's
and-
a very recurring theme in boomer humor. Wife bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it. Like
This was Greatest Generation too, so clearly it
yeah,
predated boomers. Like
I was
Boomer
grew
is
up
a
watching
state of
this.
mind.
Yeah,
Fair
for
enough.
sure. So the thing is, like, I remember Shakespeare, he has a play called The Taming of the Shrew, and they always call nagging women shrews because,
Right.
it's a little rodent that goes, so it's like, you
Yeah.
just dismiss anything your wife says, which is not a good thing, actually.
Yeah, Shakespeare might not be a great role model because of a few of the sonnets that I do know that are about a woman supposedly are actually about him and how great he is.
Yeah.
And then there was a 50s movie called The Stepford Wives. It was later remade in like the 2000s. But there's this idea that like you have a village full of basically women who are housewives and they accept their place. They have no emotional trouble with not having a career, not having an outside life outside of their husband and their kids. And everyone's happy. Except they're not real women.
That's interesting. Of course, they got death by phaser, which is the nicest way to do this, but they still got death by hanging. That's
Yeah.
helpful.
It's for people with a flair for the dramatic.
I mean, maybe
They
we
also
still
have
haven't
death by
found-
gas, which we're working on.
Yeah,
What do
this
we
is
use?
the thing, we haven't-
Nitrogen? Or,
we haven't-
want to use?
We haven't found a good alternative. Yeah, but nitrogen gas is great because you don't feel like you're asphyxiating, and you are.
Yeah, because asphyxiation is lack of oxygen. It is actually lack
Too
of
much carbon
ability to
dioxide
get rid of carbon
build up
dioxide.
in your bloodstream. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But you die from a lack of oxygen, which nitrogen replaces. So you just
Yeah,
don't
but-
notice it.
you don't feel like
Yeah. You don't notice it as the nitrogen replaces the oxygen, and
Yeah.
the carbon dioxide
It's
dissolves
just-
into any shift.
It's just for whatever reason your breathing is not helping the life activity that it's supposed to be. But yeah.
Yeah.
I had a bad habit of taking too much nitrous oxide recreationally, and I felt the same thing. No oxygen, but carbon
Anyway,
dioxide.
Harry Mudd, though. He enslaved a society of robots and now they're enslaving him back? But their form of slavery is just they want to hang out?
You know,
Being stuck here as a human specimen, that seems fair. He was a human trafficker.
Yeah.
Dang, he's tall.
True.
they're also
He's a
showing
big
him
fella.
like basically drunk. I think he's slurring his words almost.
No, that's
'cause
just
he's-
that's just how he is.
Yeah.
It's just his character. It's just
He
I
is a
feel like
tall
he's
guy.
taken. I feel like he's taken like a bottle of
How
tequila.
tall are Shatner and
DeForest Kelly.
Kelly? Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
How tall are they? I mean, they're
William
not short,
Shatner
right?
is 5'10".
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's normal.
So he's probably what, 6'1", 6'2"?
Yeah, 6'2", probably.
I love his uniform. He's so admirable.
Yes.
This episode was not good for me though growing up because I just like had an opinion that wives are just nagging shrews.
Yeah,
Were you a boomer as a child?
No, it's just
apparently.
the image of hardcore Fenton Mud. Stop here this instant. It's hard to get out of your head.
Stella, shoot him.
Reminds me of a boomer joke. Marriage is an institution. Who wants to live in an institution?
That is a boomer joke. Yeah.
That's the thing though. All these cultures like come around like, oh, marriage sucks. And then yet you're supposed to do it by the time you're like 25. So why do you keep telling me it sucks when all of you are stuck in one?
It's sort of like hazing, right? What just
Thanks.
want you to be miserable because it
Okay.
justifies their misery.
You know, and this is mild because I remember watching a John Wayne film, and at the end of the movie, he like bends over his wife on his knee and he spanks her, and everybody in the town could laugh at it.
Christ.
But yeah, you know, basically, like your wife was not allowed to talk back to you, otherwise you were authorized to do discipline.
So these androids, unlike Data, they do refer to themselves as robots. But what's interesting to me is that this civilization that was intergalactic, they moved between galaxies.
Yeah.
They only had one real planet.
Yeah, that is a bit interesting.
I guess. I mean, there's like the Cytherians in TNG where they just hang out on their one world and send
Yeah.
out probes.
Bring everyone to them. The ugly bags.
Some
of water.
people just want to hang out at home.
Isn't that what we're doing?
Yeah. Boy, that's weird.
So get rid of your wife who's always nagging you and just make all these Stepford women. But this, I remember reading Socrates, and Socrates liked to talk philosophy all night instead of doing his job, which was like stone sculpting. And his wife would always be nagging him when he got home. But I remember reading a book about Socrates and like, look, imagine you didn't make much money, you argued with your friends all day, and then you came home still with no money. Wouldn't your wife be nagging you?
So you're saying that Socrates needed a two-income household in ancient Greece?
I mean,
for the ancient Greece
Yeah.
housing market.
yeah.
Hello.
No, but I'm saying
Is this
though,
the
like
one where
we
Mud
ca-
is trafficking humanoid androids?
Well, he's not
Yeah.
trafficking them so much as they're trafficking him.
Huh.
and
Interesting.
why did
And-
he even make a replica of his ex-wife if he doesn't like her
And
so
his
much?
yeah, his android wife is here for him
Oh,
to
not
yell
even-
at.
Not even ex. But what I'm saying is though, look, a woman could have a natural reason for being mad at her husband, and we still call her a shrew. You know, so it's just a stereotype.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
My dad nags my mom all the time about food. Men are so naggy. You didn't cook anything today.
So they're beryllium, titanium, whereas Data is cordonide and duranium.
Oh.
So these androids are made of actual metal, and Data's made of sci-fi metal.
Right.
Beryllium's more like a rock, right?
Beryllium is
metals are rocks,
not
man.
something you would want to use
True.
to make an android.
No, it's not just beryllium, though. It's beryllium titanium.
Yeah, I don't think you would want to use beryllium titanium alloy. That sounds
know.
brittle.
Titanium. They were very clear about this in their pronunciation.
I was rewatching the episode where Dr. Soong calls back Data and Lore by accident. And the positronic net feat has never been repeated. So
Okay, so
are-
beryllium titanium has good stiffness at low density.
So these androids are just very light.
Well, that would be necessary.
They're like
Well,
20
maybe it's not
kilo
so crazy
androids.
after all.
But I'm not sure. I don't know. Because titanium is very brittle and beryllium is very soft and brittle. So it's like, what?
well,
They call him
I mean,
Lord.
alloys are like that.
I know. It's weird. Metallurgy is weird.
I mean, you wouldn't think sodium chloride is so nutritious because sodium is poisonous and chloride is poisonous and explosive.
Everything is poisonous in the proper amounts.
No, but I'm saying though, by itself, sodium and chloride are not very nutritious, but together,
Yes, Kurt,
They're
kill
not.
him. Do it.
But that's not how alloys work at all. Because you're conflating molecular
Salts.
compounds with alloys, which are inherently not molecular.
But yeah, positronic net. Do they have positronic nets? Because that's what it seems like.
They have vacuum tubes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not all as sophisticated, right? They have a central control unit that maintains.
They
all
are
of them,
like
so they're
Star
not
Wars
really
Episode
independent.
1 battle droids. They don't have full independence yet. They need the control ship.
I don't think Mud
Yeah.
wanted them to be terribly independent.
So all they
That
have to
too.
do is find the control ship and just
Well, that's
blast
what
it.
That's what Spock is trying to do, right? Or was trying to do.
Can they provide love, Mr. Spock? That'll be the answer. No, Kirk, that's just a replicator.
Yeah.
Or the holodeck.
Yeah, they don't have holodecks yet.
How does he? All right.
And neither of them are wearing bras.
Yeah.
So robots were kind of new in the 60s. I believe the term was coined by Isaac Asimov. And so that's why we don't use Android. It comes from Russian, roboto.
Karl Kapek, 1920 Czech
Okay.
to
Well,
denote fictional humanoid in the Czech language play Ruhr.
Yeah, it was Czech, not a
sorry.
Slavic
Sorry.
language, but not
It
Russian.
wasn't Isaac Asimov, but fine. Thank you, Robo.
Even better than Leningrad.
Since you have robot in your name.
Good point.
It's a funny word, right? Because it's only a 20th century word.
Well, it's a lot of words are. Whoop. They had before that. Generally, they would say automaton.
Yeah. And Android obviously comes from the word man, so it we didn't think of machines that could be imitative of men or people. I love the collars they have around their neck with the numbers around it.
How-
So futuristic sci-fi.
Only some of them have it though.
And
They're
they
all
identify the
numbered.
model numbers. So he calls them by their
Like we
names,
had
right?
Barbara 322,
The Annettes.
but I don't think she had a number around her neck.
The
What is
Annettes.
what is John's number in Halo?
117.
So in Alien
Wait, is this
Covenant,
going to be sketchy? Oh no, it's just immortality. Okay.
in Alien Covenant and Prometheus, the Ridley Scott films about Alien, they have this one robot who's a little too human-like Lore, basically. Like he has a dark evil
David?
side. Yeah. And then later they upgrade the model by not making him so
Not
idiosyncratic.
making him a psychopath. Yeah, they
But
upgrade him by not making him a sociopath. Yeah,
right.
But
But
sociopath is so
what an
true to
upgrade.
humanity though.
I mean, look,
Yeah, he was too human.
TNG goes into this too because look, Lore had issues. Lore was sadistic, and that's why the colonists didn't like him. So it took a few tries for us to get Data, who's actually a benevolent entity.
Well, they just.
But the problem is though, once you upgrade the model, don't make it look exactly the same way as the last year's model.
That was a poor choice.
They already had all the molds. Okay, molds are expensive. All right.
Are they?
But
just
I
fix
want
the
to. Yeah,
nose.
really
This
expensive.
is the communist
Make the nose a
space
little
future though.
No,
Make
it's
a
not
little-
communist space future in
Make a bigger
Aliens.
nose.
It is ultra.
Oh, I thought we were
capitalism
talking about
in
Data and Lore
Aliens.
because they also have literal molds for Data.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about David.
Yeah, no, Data. That's true. Lore and Data should not have been made from the same mold. That's going to cause a lot of problems.
All
that
of
could have
his
been avoided.
androids were just copies of himself when he was 25.
You could have avoided a lot of problems.
I know when I was 25, I was very golden. Yep.
You get my point.
Golden eyes. No, I know what
That
you
was
mean.
your nickname, Golden Eyes.
Yeah.
Yellow Eyes, actually, I think was Data's Brent Spiner's album name. Old Yellow Eyes, because Frank Sinatra was Old Blue Eyes.
No, I'm saying
We call him Vic
Ryan's
Fontaine here.
nickname.
So the entire crew is down here, but we see just the main
Yeah,
characters.
don't worry about that. They're in another room.
I gotta say, this set is really fantastic. I love the purple. I love the crazy doorway.
It looks like a cartoon is what it looks like.
a little bit.
The guy who played Vic Fontaine, imagine how lucky you are as an actor to be able to just play yourself in the Star Trek universe. You don't even have to act. You just
Stephen
be
Hawking.
you.
I'm pretty sure in an interview that's basically how he said he got the job. He just showed up and he was just him. They're like, "Yep, yeah, you're it."
What? Stephen Hawking is the only person who's gotten to do that besides him.
Yeah.
He had a cameo, not a recurring role.
No, but still, himself appearances are pretty rare.
He was on
Star
screen
Trek.
for 3 minutes, not even.
Yeah.
All he does is drink all day, so of course your wife is gonna nag you. Mow the lawn, rake the yard, take out the trash.
So Chekhov's trousers aren't the ones that are bothering me, responding to the text chat. Well, the trousers that bother me are the android dude's trousers, because they're
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
form-fitting.
TNG season 1 spandex.
There
At
are some
least it-
outlines going on.
At least it's a 2-piece, because in TNG season 1 it was a 1-piece spandex, which would like cause back problems. But that spandex is part of the futuristic feel because spandex and nylon were new materials in the 50s. Space age. Linoleum floors
Oh,
and
They
hang
all
on, there's an
thought the
android
world was going to
rebellion.
and four
They all
mica
thought
countertops.
the world was
That
going to end in nuclear fury, but turns out it's microplastic oblivion.
Yeah, basically
We
they
get
had no
enough
idea.
microplastics, everyone
It-
will get enough cognitive decline. We can't even figure out how to launch the nukes.
Right. It wasn't even the nukes, it was the Coca-Cola.
Microplastics are
It
the
was the
lead
Teflon all along.
of the modern era.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're the asbestos and lead of.
Even worse, because
Our-
literally everywhere. Like asbestos and lead
wait
wasn't in
till
the water.
wait till electric vehicles proliferate and we have used batteries piling up everywhere with no way to recycle them.
We're already kind of there with all the e-waste that we don't recycle properly that catches fire. Anyway, the future will be robots who don't give us any problems at all. I'm optimistic because I'm watching Star Trek. You guys can take your pessimism somewhere else. Go watch Andor or
Are
something.
you sure you've watched Star Trek? Because the Earth is screwed in this era.
No, I mean...
In our current era, Earth is
Yeah,
dead.
true.
Eugenics war,
We're under the subservience of
post nuclear apocalypse.
superhumans.
I think the nuclear apocalypse is coming in 2 or 3 years. World War III.
Just after Irish unification.
2024 is Irish unification.
Yeah.
Lasting from 2026 to 2053. Nice.
Oh boy.
And then we get to go through
I
the
mean-
post-atomic horror.
To be fair, World War III has already started. I'm pretty sure that Russia invading Ukraine was the spark, and now you have Gaza, and you'll have Taiwan shortly, I'm sure.
Well, we
Just
don't
sit
know
back
that yet.
and enjoy the ride,
Right.
Robo. Just enjoy the ride. Don't be such a naysayer.
Just keep watching Star Trek and pretend that everything's fine.
Hopefully our AI overlords will stop everything.
The Strange New Worlds, that time they had in the pilot episode, they had a PowerPoint of World War III.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good PowerPoint.
Yeah.
That was a very effective depiction of World War III.
What PowerPoint?
In
Strange
the
New World, when they
premiere
arrive
of
at the
Strange
new
New
planet?
Worlds, he was like, "Oh, you guys are gonna kill each other. Let me show you what it looks like when you kill each other."
Hmm.
And then he offers them Federation membership, which I don't think he had the authority to do, but whatever.
Well, they could wish he can recommend them. He can offer them application. Here, fill out this form.
Ryan, can you sell fake patents to your mother? That's what Mud says. That
It's going to be
I
real
fail to
awkward
see
if the
why I should
council
want
says
to do
no.
so.
Nerve pinch.
We could also just nerve pinch him.
Nerve pinch.
No,
Gosh.
that was funnier.
hey, you know the Okana It's almost like the outrageous Okana. Well, this came first. Like, you need someone who's an unscrupulous merchant.
Kirk, I think they've pretty well established that they're not really serving you anymore.
He will cease to function. Uh-oh. Logic bomb.
Machines still need like a radio transmission to receive orders. Like,
Yeah, I don't know why they have speakers built in.
because the original 3.1, the old computers had those binary speakers.
Ooh,
I'm
hoorah.
curious. I'm curious why this was their plan, because we're about to get on the Enterprise.
This is Ryan. Ryan wants to get rid of all his fleshy parts. You do that today, Ryan? Just go into a Android body?
Well, we don't have
yeah.
androids,
Okay.
so I'm not gonna
I
like
would
give
I would
Elon
ride this
Musk my
body out as
consciousness.
long as possible.
Yeah, Ryan's still young. He has 10, 20 years.
I
to
suppose because they were expecting it.
Did we get Mud in Strange New Worlds yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, no.
No?
Yes.
No, in
wait.
Discovery.
Oh, okay,
Not in
okay.
Discovery, yes. In Strange New Worlds, no.
There's a short track about him.
Okay, thanks.
And an episode.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. I knew it was coming up somehow.
2 episodes of Discovery, right?
They were gonna let him go to the ship. Why didn't they just go? Why are
Because
they
there's
doing
a bunch
all
of
They
that?
were
androids on
being
there.
observed, and they expect an attempt to take over the ship. So
You are super quiet, Soma.
sorry.
A little
Sounds
bit.
fine to me.
This is it.
Maybe lower your volume, Robo, for the. So, you can destroy any machine by giving it 2 contradictory orders.
What if you just spoke code to
There
them
we are,
like
that
you
might be
did,
better now.
SQL
like
injection.
SQL injection, but verbal?
That's a fun idea. Hello, drop tables.
Frickin' Ruskies.
La 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 la.
A problem in every
Is that a
century.
Russian dance?
No.
Russians, a nuisance in every century.
Oh, blue
So-
screened.
You know, I love the
When
scene in.
When I got to Taco Bell, the lady asked me if I needed a cup, and I said I didn't know that this was that kind of sport. And she looked at me like, "Huh?"
Yeah, why would you say
And,
that to someone? Why would you
I
say
thought
that
it
to a
was funny.
cashier?
I was making a joke. Well, she knows me.
I love the scene in Discovery when George Joe's looking at the future 29th century holograms, which are lie detectors, and she just blinks them out of existence. Be like, why are you blinking like that? Why are you not? The AI realizes that they're just programmed to think that way, and then they like phase out of existence. I gotta say, watching TOS with you guys really helps me appreciate all the other series because they rip off so many plots. It's not even a joke. This series is such gold for.
So, these 2 androids, They appear at a minimum to be twins. I'm just wondering how many identical siblings they got for this episode. Because we've
Quite a
definitely had
few,
scenes with more
yeah.
than two at a time, but they might have been like comped in.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough.
Also, I'm thinking like around this time they had these electronic puppets. You know, like at the circus, there'd be like a Coltron telling your future or something. So that's what Mud's wife is basically. She's like the animated genie in the circus booth.
Are you invulnerable to gun?
Yeah.
I suspect even androids are vulnerable to the Colt 45.
Yeah, he said that the phaser would set off the trigger. Now that it wouldn't work on him, so presumably yes, the phaser would work.
So Isaac Asimov wrote this thing that a robot has a rule that it can never harm a human or such. So they're kind of going into
Well, what if they
this
want to, though?
sci-fi lore. No, but
Yeah,
that's
I mean that's his rule.
rule number one. No
This is
killing.
every single android story.
Yeah.
Androids not allowed to harm humans. Androids harm humans anyway. That's just how this
Yeah.
goes. There's one
And-
storyline.
Androids harm humans in a particularly brutal fashion, like crushing the skull
That's
with their bare
Data's
hands.
story.
Data's the only one that came out right.
And he still goes crazy
Well,
and attacks
you know,
people.
Yeah.
I would like to point to Descent, and that is evidence that Data is only restrained by a few subroutines.
He's basically like a Star Wars droid that has a restraining bolt.
Yeah.
He is chained by internal shackles, and if they remove those shackles, he'll go on a murder spree.
In a way, we all
Probably.
got that bolt.
No.
Yes.
I don't
Napoleon-
have an internal desire to go on a murder spree.
You
Or
grew
do
up
you?
in a prosperous.
Then why do you
democratic-
own so many guns?
Yeah.
Well, Napoleon said every man is only 3 meals away from a revolution. So, you know, we
Oh,
all
that's some
would
good
be.
whistling,
that's not-
though.
We all are capable of unimaginable cruelty.
Robo, are you watching in the shower? What is happening?
Oh, I was washing my hands. Sorry. I have NVIDIA broadcast on. You shouldn't be able to hear it.
Remember to wash behind the ears.
How do they not know he's not dead?
Because they don't have any measure to actually check him.
So
I guess
this
it could take his pulse.
That's
this
a great
whole
line.
scene
That-
is very Shakespearean. Like
is that
unironically, this is
Shakespeare?
how Shakespeare deaths play out.
What is a
Yeah.
man but a
Yeah.
lofty spirit, that enterprise of will? How many times has Scotty died? in this
Well,
show?
oh, they're explicitly wrong here in Star Trek. Dreams are real. It's like a separate realm,
True.
the dream world,
E-
that the
especially,
travelers move through to alter reality.
especially in a newborn galaxy.
Do you think the travelers ever ran into Freddy Krueger?
Well,
Yeah.
in one of the parallel universes with a different quantum signature, why not?
Let me double check that NVIDIA broadcast is working properly. Okay, noise removal was turned off, so now noise removal is turned on.
So basically, the robots are
What?
clearly mystified by a bit of community theater.
By the whose line is it anyway?
Gosh. All right. Scenes from a hat. So we're gonna play scenes from a hat.
You see that in the reverse order that you'd want to do that.
Why is Mud playing along with them?
Apparently,
Yeah, because Mud is being kept prisoner by them too.
Okay.
yeah, they're on Bud's side at this point.
Yeah. The androids were with Mud, and then when everyone showed up, they're like, "You are no longer useful to us."
Thanks. Patriarchy hurts
We
men
have
too.
better. Wow. Patriarchy hurts men.
Well, I'm
We
saying
have a hierarchy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. You got to ask which door the brother would open.
Norman, if Harry left this room running north at 4 miles per hour,
I recently learned that.
Oh, now he sounds like Sarek. Illogical. Illogical. Illogical.
I recently learned that in movies when they do a barbecue, they're actually not barbecuing because that would be really hot and unfortunate if somebody burnt themselves. So they just like light some wood chips on fire, and it gives off like the same kind of smoke that's behind his head
isn't
right
that
now.
what barbecuing is? What do you mean?
Yeah, but instead of all
Well,
the
you use wet-
coals,
you use
Instead
wet
of
wood chips.
barbecuing and setting a fire, they instead set some things on fire.
yeah, but I mean, instead of an actual coal being like 100 degrees Celsius, then
You're mixing
Before.
up barbecue with grilling.
I'm just saying movie special effects just involves burning some wood chips to create the illusion
But
of a
but
fire.
everybody seems to mix up barbecuing with grilling, which bothers me.
Sorry.
Not your fault.
Yes,
Like I
it
said,
is.
everybody does it. We're gonna have a barbecue. Okay. But they cook everything on a grill. Okay. I don't know.
It makes me mad they shortened barbecue to BBQ.
The letter Q is not even in the word.
But
You've
isn't
been
CUE in
paroled?
the word?
So he's being paroled to the planet. Like now he has to
Wait,
stay here.
why are there three new models of androids in the back? Who are these people?
Are there any other words that have an abbreviation that uses a phonetic equivalent instead of the actual letter that we can think of?
Yeah, cutie. Just write QT.
Quality testing?
No, girls used to call me that in 7th grade.
Nobody called you cutie in 7th grade. That was harsh. Sorry.
Because clearly,
So-
instead they used the term cutie patootie.
Or Tutti Frutti, I think they used. Hey, we have a lot of new twin models of androids.
So they reprogrammed the androids to be less murdery, but they also uploaded some new physical parameters to make what's...
And they're even more sexualized than they were before. Oh, this is the best part though.
Oh boy. Of course.
Captain Picard would never sanction this.
No, Picard would not be doing
Creating
this.
new life just to troll Harry Mudd.
He deserves a wife like this. You go out all night and then you make up stories.
I mean, it's
Just
not
send
great
him to
behavior.
New Zealand.
That's the thing, though. He just so deserves this.
Yeah.
You're trapped in your
Indeed.
own hell. Oh my god, there's more than one?
Yeah, there's like several.
No, there's 500 of them. So, mixing musical tracks and stuff was kind of new at this point. Like the Beatles were the first band to like record instruments on different tracks and put it together. Before, everybody would be like live recording in a studio. So it's really cool how they overlaid her voice like 3 times to make it as annoying as possible.
Pretty sure Pink Floyd was mixing stuff.
Yeah, but Beatles came first, right?
I don't know. Did they?
Much earlier.
Yeah. Well, Beatles were real old.
Okay, next episode is Metamorphosis. 1 minute to that. Everyone cue up Metamorphosis. As a reminder, this is the episode,
Metamorphosis.
another episode, much like the one we just watched, where the woman isn't really a person and she just exists as a plot device. It's a whole thing.
Is that Gene? Rick Berman wasn't on the picture yet.
Yeah, this is all Gene.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a love story, but they included a bit of murder in it, and they make the murders sound romantic. Or they're trying to, anyway.
The Beatles were formed in 1960. Pink Floyd was 65.
Okay. But were the
Press
Beatles
play
doing it
in
before Pink
5,
Floyd was?
4, 3,
When did the Beatles
2,
break up?
1, play.
Is this a cringe episode?
This is a Rick Berman episode before Rick Berman.
No, I think aside from the creepiness, there is the aspect of can you love beyond your current person?
Yeah, and if that's what this episode was, it'd be if they cut out the Nancy Hedford stuff, this episode would be totally fine.
Yeah, it's good sci-fi actually. Really good sci-fi.
The Starfleet.
You know-
Nobody calls it that. Bones, it's not.
He just said it too.
Nobody.
Billions to one, he says.
Stop saying the Starfleet.
The Starfleet.
It's like saying the Voyager. It's not right.
We say the Starfleet in Star
We
Trek
say the
fiction.
Enterprise.
No, but in TNG it's never the Starfleet, but in Star Trek 6 they do say mothballing the Starfleet.
It's only called the Starfleet in Star Wars. Star Trek is just Starfleet. Well, it's not very automatic if he has to check it now, isn't it?
It's funny because
Ryan,
in
when's
some
the last time you used your 3D printer?
A long time.
in some
Yes.
languages like Greek, every regular like even a name has like the word the in front of it. So in the New Testament you'll see the Jesus, the Joseph, and the Mary. So every noun, proper noun, will have the in front of it.
What type of printer is it?
Monoprice select something.
Oh, well,
Select
is
V
it like an Ender
something.
clone?
This has improved since the Galileo 7 episode, the crashing of the shuttlecraft.
It is your death, Nancy. It's a very colorful space cloud.
It's funny because we don't see a window,
Dish.
but this lady is really bossy.
Yeah, but it's only because she doesn't have a boyfriend.
Mhm.
I mean,
Don't worry, she'll get a boyfriend by the end of the episode.
Well, that's sort of questionable because it's not really her anymore.
It's on
What do you
loan.
mean?
She's on loan. That
what does
would
that
be
mean,
the,
Ryan?
because she dies
It's
and
not
the,
her.
the companion takes
What I mean
over.
is she gets assimilated.
Yeah.
But by a
So-
cloud instead of the Borg.
How about instead of an android body, you merely transfer your consciousness to a dead body? Would you go for that, Ryan?
Transfer to a what?
Dead body.
why would
like
you
somebody
want a
who
dead
just died
body?
at the morgue? You just
Well,
have
then
to go
what,
there.
what's the point? Then I'm just dead. That's not...
True.
Why would that's just suicide. What do you mean?
No, well, what I mean is that we bring back the dead body too, like Nancy Hepburn does here. don't
Why
know if
would I
that's
trade my currently working body for a body that already broke down?
True.
And besides, transferring to another flesh body, it's even if it's a perfectly functional one, it's just going to break down again. I need
Mhm.
something made of steel,
You want a
or-
permanent solution.
beryllium titanium.
Gotcha. Or
Ever
pewter,
since
right?
I realized the weakness of my own flesh, it disgusted me. Where's my phone?
It's a little overly warm there. 75 Fahrenheit? Not a fan.
Is he knitting? What is he doing?
Spock?
He's holding a tricorder.
Who?
Oh, a
Yes,
planet
phasers.
broke up, and the asteroid was totally suitable for human life. That's nice.
It was a really,
Why is
really
she-
big planet, so the asteroids that came out are
Kept the
planet-sized.
atmosphere. Okay.
Why is she dressed that way?
Because she's gonna
She-
die, that's why.
She doesn't want to be in her bonnet. That's why.
So I was reading about a new scientific theory about the formation of the moon and what happened to they they believe that there was a massive collision with another planet that injected all this material that coalesced into the moon, right? They're like, well, what happened to the thing that we collided with? And they are thinking now that these clumps of stuff that are in Earth's mantle are the remnants of the planet that we collided with. There's like
Yep.
these dense clumps
I don't know if I'd call that a new
of
theory, more so that
Yeah.
like we just happen to now find it.
hmm
Because like the material had to go somewhere, so it was in
Right.
Earth somewhere.
Right. Well, the planets merge
it's a
or
dis-
whatever.
well, it's a theory right now. There's
Yeah.
no way to really. I'm sorry, it's a hypothesis right now.
And yeah, but and also we're pretty sure the moon came from that same collision.
That's what I said at the beginning.
Yeah, but like we've analyzed the moon and we've confirmed that pretty much.
It's a
Well,
rock.
It's the same type of
No,
rock
you
that
see,
Earth is made out of.
the moon had to
mostly.
come from Earth because the Earth is the only place in the universe with cheese.
Mm.
Ryan has a good point. It all comes down to cheese. What kind of cheese?
So okay. He
Swiss.
really reminds me of Trip Tucker.
Pip Tucker?
So if we didn't have Nancy on this ship and we had a guy, would the companion have just taken over a dead crew member?
Well, they wouldn't have had him turn into a romance object because it was the 60s.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure the companion was willing to take whatever's available.
But then Gene Roddenberry would have had to successfully argue with the network that they could air Two Men in
Mhm.
Love on TV in the 60s.
Right.
Oh, it's okay that we murder her. She's just an assistant commissioner. Okay, we don't need her. That's fine.
Food to a starving man. That's really not how you describe a person that you just met.
He's been trapped here for like 300 years. Leave him alone.
That's true. He hasn't seen a woman in like. He's from Alpha Centauri in this episode, though. FYI.
Yeah, no, he's not. That's not canon.
So you know what that means, though? That means
That's
we
like
arrived at.
saying Robo is RoboCorp's of the Taco Bell.
What?
He
That's
is. He is.
just
He's
that's the
made up
last
of
place
Taco
he
Bell.
was seen before he went missing.
He is though because he's from there. But
He's from Montana.
I didn't know that. Oh, you meant Zephyr Cochrane, not Robo.
Yes, they're from Cochrane.
Okay. But
He's
what it
also
means is
a lot younger than he used to be.
look, some of us grow cuter with age, speaking from experience. But what I was saying was though that this means that like humanity had light travel to get to Alpha Centauri. It takes 4 years to get to the closest star system at the speed
Did
of
you just
light.
call it Alpha Centauri?
Robo, I've never been there, okay, so I don't know how it's pronounced.
Alpha Centauri.
Okay. And
Centaur.
We don't know how it's pronounced. That's true. None of us have been there.
right. So, and then that means he got there at regular light speed, and then he invented the warp drive once we had an Alpha Centauri colony.
Yeah, this whole episode is like barely canon. All
So
the
he didn't
background details about Zephram Cochrane are no longer true.
he didn't invent light speed. He invented faster than light speed. We had light speed. Unfortunately, light speed doesn't help you get anywhere.
How does he
Except
look
Alpha
familiar? He
Centauri.
doesn't look anything like... Oh, wait, what's the actor's name? Who's the old dude? Old Zephram? Which is to say young Zephram?
James.
Cromwell. Yeah, he doesn't
Thank
look
you.
anything like James Cromwell. What do you mean, Kirk?
Who is also a Uridian. There's
I wanna
no
make a-
circular
vegetable
hut.
in this field.
Yeah, the vegetable field was off screen. Don't worry about it.
All right. I mean, that place is drier than Mars.
Why does it have a spout? No, yeah, I'm with Nancy. Why do you keep... It's so hot. 72? It's ridiculous.
That's room
What's that in
temperature.
Could we do
Celsius?
like 62?
That's room temperature. There's nothing wrong with
I
72,
keep it-
62.
I keep it 58 in my house, right?
Good.
Well, so
Is it the cloud?
Lily? Lily's not in this?
No, she doesn't exist. Don't worry about it.
Lily.
From First Contact.
There was a whole subplot about Lily and Picard romance that was filmed, and then it got cut out because Patrick Stewart wanted it, and then they did it, but then they're like, "This is terrible. Remove it."
They definitely had innuendo.
Well, there was because it was written into the script, but they
Yeah.
had to cut all those scenes out. So like, there's clearly this tension with them, but you don't ever they doesn't explain it because they cut all those scenes out.
It wasn't
That's
a
what
romantic.
happens.
It was an action.
That's
film.
what
It was not
happens
a
when you
romantic
cut an
film.
entire plot line out of a movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of input in a movie production. People don't listen to the writer for anything.
That's why in Nemesis they had the dune buggies because Patrick Stewart wanted it. They had to acquiesce to everything he wanted because to get him to come back because he didn't want to do Star Trek anymore.
Okay, so maybe he did look like James Cromwell before.
Yeah. Rejuvenate. Juven means young.
Rejuvenate is the level 6 spell you can select on Keeper of the Grove, which heals all nearby allied units for 30 seconds.
Wait, wasn't there something like
That's
the
actually not
companion?
true. That's not true at all. Rejuvenate is actually a spell on the Keeper of the... No, what's it called? Druid of the Claw.
In what was it, Josie and the Pussycats? Or there was this thing that looked like the companion. It was like this little blob thing.
The Aberson theory of it is
Discover-
definitely no longer true.
The Discoverer of the Space Warp.
Yeah, that's only the most famous scientist in Federation history, guys. How long did it take you to come up with that one?
It's astonishing that Zephram Cochrane's so famous, even beyond Earth. Because, like, everyone else had warp drive way before humans.
True. It's kind of like Columbus. We just keep telling ourselves he discovered the New World.
In space, he doesn't even like to
Well,
fly.
all right. My argument for that your review is like Christopher Columbus is like the Henry Ford. Henry Ford didn't invent the automobile. He just made it accessible to everybody. Christopher Columbus wasn't the first European
Right.
The difference, though,
uh,
is Henry Ford did it on
to-
purpose.
Chris Columbus is
Okay,
just an
that's fair.
ass.
Well, he did it on
Columbus just
purpose.
got lucky.
He just didn't know where he was.
No, Columbus
Well,
didn't.
that's the narrative,
He
but
packed enough
I don't know if that's
food for the size of the
entirely
world that he
true.
thought it was. If there didn't happen to be an America there, he and his crew would have starved to death.
Yeah, or fallen off and where the dragons be. Yeah. So Spock said a minute ago, I'm going to reserve judgment on your story. And it's like, oh, well, you are from the 21st century. I think I read in a Star Trek novel. It's really cool. The Starfleet logo, the chevron, it comes from Zefram Cochrane's warp calculation. You know, the arch. So that's why it became the Starfleet logo, because it's a parabola from his warp calculations. I like novels. Be canon.
You good, Nancy?
How does she die? She's not even injured.
She gets
She's
no,
sick.
she is suffering from some rare illness.
Okay.
That they were bringing her back to Starfleet Medical to fix her
Oh, right. She was calling Starfleet Medical useless, like at the beginning of the episode.
because they were supposed to inoculate her against it, but they didn't.
Well, they are useless. Okay, it's like having polio in this day and age.
Well, no, they didn't inoculate her against it because it's so
It's like
incredibly
1 in a
rare.
billion.
Billions.
Okay.
Yeah, well, she's the one. So Starfleet Medical.
Well, that's the tough part, right? You could give everybody a mammogram or a cancer screening, but like everybody doesn't need one. But of course, if you're the one who needed it, then it's worth it.
Well, that's what
But-
we do with inoculations today. There's lots of things which you can get, especially when you go to other countries, but you don't get inoculated against it because it's so rare that
Mhm,
whilst you can be inoculated against lots of things for them,
mhm.
you're inoculated against the main things, it's not the other ones because that's too
Everything's
much.
a
Really.
choice.
So before you do any international travel, especially for work, they do send you to a doctor and you do get inoculations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what he's saying is, though, in our own home countries, we don't get inoculated for that.
Well, not just that, is in terms of there's lots of diseases which you don't get inoculations for, even they get inoculations for other things, because they're so rare that there's not actually that much point to doing so.
Mhm.
So, fun fact, I don't know if you're familiar with Lyme's disease, but Lyme's disease is horrible. And they actually developed an effective and safe vaccine for Lyme's disease, but the anti-vax movement in the United States killed any commercial value for it. So it's just sitting on a shelf somewhere.
It's Lyme disease, by the way, Rigo. It's not Lyme's disease.
I'm sorry?
The
It's just
disease
the
is
one
called
Lyme,
Lyme
actually.
disease. There's no apostrophe S in the name.
Oh, that was very convincing, Mr. Spock. Oh, and that burning dumpster fires of the shuttle is the screenshot I used for the thumbnail about this episode.
Oh, it communicates with you non-verbally.
Yeah, don't worry if you can't hear the cloud. She only talks to me.
So the focus isn't getting Zefram Cochrane off the planet. The focus is finding him a mate.
Yes.
I mean, I know
Nancy Hedford only exists in this episode to be Zephram's zombie girlfriend.
I mean, in fairness, they do explain that he will grow old and die once he's outside of the companion's effect. So it's kind of like the opposite of the The evil thing that killed Tasha Yar, Argus.
Well, Tasha Yar or Armis
Yeah,
and the
Armis.
companion have the same death toll.
I don't know if you
Just
framed
one
that
is all
right,
gooey.
Ryan.
What?
This is
I'm
this is a
Ryan.
weird
Yeah.
thing
know.
because here we realize the thing loves Zephyr Cochrane, and you're forced to think about like interspecies love, which I don't think too many other shows make you do.
No, they don't, because most shows only deal with humans.
Yeah, even Star Wars though doesn't go too much into interspecies love though. Also, the
I mean,
companion
the
is not.
interspecies love in Star Wars comes in the fact that everybody loves Admiral Akbar.
Also, the companion is not particularly male or female, so
Well, actually,
it's
as they're going to
non-corporeal.
state later in the episode, once they learn how to talk to it,
Mhm,
male and female are universal constants. Therefore, the
mhm.
companion is female.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that in the Star Wars universe, Twi'leks are roughly the equivalent of Orion slave girls.
Yes.
So,
To a large
despite
extent.
despite the fact that TOS establishes male and female as universal constants, even
Yeah, that's
though
not canon anymore.
most organisms are actually asexual and reproduce asexually, but okay.
Well, are you talking about single cell organisms?
Just organisms, I said. So we're talking all organisms.
Yeah, well, but I mean, like the vast quantity of biomass on the planet is going to be microbial
So-
life. So, are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. And earthworms too, by the way, hermaphrodites.
Lots of Star Trek species are not two gendered.
And also, not everybody keeps their genitals in the same place. When
The Janai.
the
The
mo-
Janai.
the model Iman kicks the
That's
the
a
guy in
Stargate
the
faction.
Repente.
The
The
Janai?
Janai?
Yes.
I'm talking
Soma,
about the
did you ever
Janai, though.
hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Because it's not a story the Janai would tell you.
Oh yeah, Genai. Geni, I think.
It's also a Star Trek species, which are the androgynous ones that Riker falls in love with, and it's a whole conversion therapy thing they got going on.
Ah, that one. Yes.
So what I was saying
we're
was,
going to kill the companion. Do it.
oh my god,
They were
Stop
saying
trying to-
there's nothing we can do to save Nancy Hedford. There's one thing you could do. You could leave. You could get the companion to let you
Yeah.
leave,
right.
Well, that's
and she can get medical
well,
help. You could try at least.
Also, I'm pretty sure the shuttle has them stranded, right? Because they didn't want to land here.
There's nothing wrong with their shuttle. Well, now
Okay.
it got caught on fire a little bit. There wasn't anything wrong with their shuttle.
Oh, it was
The
drawing them
companion
in.
brought them down and is now holding them here, preventing them
Nice.
from repairing it or taking off until Nancy Hedford dies, so the companion can take over her body.
Thank you. Oh, okay. So this the companion knew exactly what it was doing. Female in orbit. Pull that shuttle in. But what I was saying was, though, even though male and female are universal constants as established by this episode, I really
Which isn't
like
canon. I feel like I
Right.
should emphasize again.
Thank you, because it's really not canon in science either. So, but I really like in TNG when Data makes his child Lol in Data's Day. It starts off as an androgynous creature that has to choose.
I've allowed
its
my
gender.
child to choose its own sex and appearance.
And it's like the most androgynous thing you've ever seen.
That guy that's an actor that's done other Star Trek stuff, you know.
Oh, that was not a girl?
No, it was a guy.
Amazing.
He was on the episode where women ruled the planet, and he was like this really little dude,
Angel 1.
one of the servants.
Okay. But Data lets his child choose their gender, which is very nice of him. The rest of us
Well-
kind of got assigned birth. Aw, we cue the romantic music.
Kill it. Kill it now.
Yeah, keep trying to
Oh,
kill
it's
a
an angry
non-corporeal
cloud.
being. Mess around and find out.
No, the CG's in the building. Should have shut the door.
Is that like a blob of jello? Oh man, drowning in jello. That's what's happening right now. I do also like that it's non-corporeal, so it communicates telepathically. Like, obviously, it's not
Well,
understanding.
it's a little
McCoy.
corporeal, apparently, because it's choking them.
That's true. It's drowning them in jello gas. I'm pretty sure that's what it's trying to do, McCoy. They were trying to zap it, and it's trying to choke them. Do not mess with non-corporeal
Okay, it
life
went home.
forms.
It's fine. Everything's fine. All right, next time you're going to have to set that thing to a higher setting.
It was just a dumb idea. Our heroes got to stop being dumb. Oh my god. Can you feel?
No. No, one of them's dying because of this murderous cloud, Kirk. I think Nancy counts as part of the away team.
She does.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
she
she
was the one member of the away team from Starfleet.
Yes.
I
Well,
mean,
not from Starfleet, but from wherever.
From the Starfleet?
in a way, though, it's not the away team assignment that killed her. She was a goner before she even went on the away team.
No, she went. Her away team assignment, her away assignment was the negotiations where she got sick.
Oh, okay. But she was a goner either way, though, right? She was terminally ill when she got on.
No,
No,
she
she's-
just had a sickness which could have been fixed on the Enterprise.
Oh,
She
okay,
was-
okay.
Here's the deal. She went as a diplomat to go stop a war.
Mhm.
While there, she contracted a serious but rare illness. They were
Mhm.
bringing her back to the ship or to a starbase for medical attention, then they were going to bring her back to finish negotiations. On the way back to the starbase, they got commandeered by a cloud.
Okay. A cloud that's madly in love with Zephyr and Cochrane. Where's the mate for this cloud? What happened? I mean, I think they established it, right? They left it alone on this planet.
I don't know, man.
Also, is the cloud need to stay on the planet for any reason? Why couldn't it just like travel through space and
We did space at the start of the episode when it pulled them
get the
down.
life? Okay.
I think it just doesn't want to leave because it wants to hang out with Zephyr.
Yeah. Does Zephyr and Cochrane still pee like any, like in the forest?
There's no
What?
force on this planet. It's a barren rock.
How many to go? Oh my God.
I don't want to be
Someone
a
who's
statue.
yelling. Someone who is that?
That was
wanna-
Mum.
I don't want to be a
Hey,
statue.
hey, Mom.
Are you grading her physics work?
They're the students.
What you saying about me?
Are they capable of having children? Zephyr and the cloud?
Well, they're about to be, because the cloud's gonna steal someone else's body.
Mm, True.
So, but their children would be like Cisco. They would be half cloud instead of half prophet.
Yeah. I, I don't even think like Zephyr and Cochrane has any personality in this episode. He's just like a stand-in. Like the cloud would have fallen in love with anyone.
Well, Uhura, have you tried the one habitable planet in this system?
I remember reading an interview with Bruce Willis, and he kind of said, like, look, if you're lonely enough, you'll fall in love with anyone. It's not a good thing.
Oh, here it goes. Universal ideas.
Not really. It's not even universal across human culture.
So right now it's universal just for like language acquisition. But yeah, once we get the voice of the companion, they're going to explain why it sounds like a woman.
They imply there's like only 2 male and female, like in the Adonis episode too. Just about love is this.
Love
wouldn't-
is a highway.
I wouldn't even be bothered if they said that man and woman were the only two humans, because it was the 60s, and it's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
We figured out more since then.
Mhm.
But it's weird
Well,
that they
there's
apply to
competition
all species
surface
across the
cultural.
Star Trek universe, and like that's
Right.
clearly not true in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not even
I mean-
internally consistent.
I think a famous person wrote this episode too, by the way, which is why it also became iconic.
Yes,
Purple sky.
Luke goes to hang out with Obi-Wan, and this was passed down from your father. It's his universal translator. He wanted you to have it.
Brum, brum. Oh, no doubt. When a man.
No,
Again, yeah, the Spock says that gender changes everything when no, it should be literally anything going on.
it doesn't have a gender. It's a cloud.
That as well, but like,
Right.
gender
it could have
doesn't
been a
mean
male cloud.
attraction in any way, shape, or form in
Right.
this situation. It doesn't. If it was a female, it doesn't matter because it doesn't necessarily mean it is a sexual attraction. If it was male, could be a sexual attraction. There's no difference there. Even in the
It wouldn't
60s,
have
there's no
modified the
difference there.
situation. No. I mean, you two are just on
Who's-
this planet together forever. You don't need anyone else.
Whose voice is that? We've gotten that voice many times. Is that Loxana?
I'm guessing. It's a computer's voice, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Loxana.
But you know what? Mhm. You were
Yeah,
saying
it's
something,
definitely
Sam?
Loxana, but that would seem to suggest that it's just a universal translator is using the computer's voice.
True. True, which goes against the whole gender thing also. Although, remember, in the alternate Terran timeline, the computer's voice is male, so we would have just had a dude talking if this was the Terran timeline.
Okay, so it is not Loxana. It is Elizabeth Hush,
Hmm.
who I'm trying to look her up, see what... She's definitely been in other episodes. I recognize that voice, 100%.
So one thing I'm really glad about this episode is that they did not sexualize the relationship between Armis and Tasha. That was just pure evil.
What?
Well, I'm saying here they were sexualized. The lonely creature on the planet.
All right, now I'm gonna go see if somebody's made this
So
fan fiction. Armis and Tasha.
So, another funny thing about that Armis episode, Riker goes into the black pit and he comes out, like Armis spits him back up. And that was all printer ink. And I remember
Yeah.
watching Jonathan Frakes do an interview. He's like,
Printer ink
"I had-
and Metamucil.
Ah, it's so black.
It needed some extra thickness to it.
So bad. Anyway, so I'm glad Zephyr
could say
Cochrane's
he's-
not covered in
Yeah, a sickness for the thickness.
RoboCop. Sorry, Zephyr Cochrane should have been covered in a Pepto Bismol. Oh, you're acting like you don't know Zephyr. A blind man can see. It's true though. When you are really
Ooh,
flirty,
the
everybody around
Cloud
you
has a
can.
crush.
I remember flirting with a customer when I was working
Don't
at a
do that.
cashier. I know. But then my Mexican coworker, he's like, almost you kissed him. I'm like, you caught me.
Yes, Zephram, now we can kill it.
Oh, it used you? Yeah, is that
Kill
what those
it.
nocturnal emissions were, Zeph? Yeah, he's acting like he doesn't know a single thing.
Well, it's a cloud. It's hard to imagine a cloud being in love with you.
All right, but if you hang out every day, you're probably boyfriend, girlfriend.
Boyfriend, cloud friend.
Yes.
Inhuman monster. Okay, so he's definitely a little racist
Mhm.
against
Love
clouds.
doesn't have any boundaries. This is actually a really progressive episode, though. You couldn't say what you wanted to say. Oh, parochial attitude. Much like those
Okay,
segregationists in the 60s.
so this scene is the bit where we talk about how Nancy Hedford didn't have a real life because she didn't have a boyfriend.
I mean, everyone knows that women's existence is defined by whether or not they have a man.
I mean, TNG
And I mean,
continues
she's only assistant commissioner.
Beverly's like,
And
I haven't
frankly, it
had
might
a...
even be assistant to the commissioner.
Beverly throws herself at Picard and says, I haven't had a man in so long. Oh,
That was in the Naked Now, I think.
yeah, when they were taken over by
By
They weren't taken over by
water
anything. They were all drunk.
on
psychic
water.
phenomenon. But yeah, and even in the episode with the Who Mourns for Adonis, like at the
Adonis.
beginning of the episode, they talk about how she'll get married someday and then she won't be an officer anymore because like women don't have careers outside once they get married. But it's fairly realistic. I remember my mom, she was even telling someone on the phone recently, she was one semester away from graduating college and then she got married. So it was kind of understood.
Well, she can do both.
No, not back then. You don't need college if you're a girl.
Ah, yes, because they can go into a trade school instead. Yes, of course.
Well, I mean, high school taught home economics for girls and like wood shop for boys. Pretty convenient, useful stuff.
Home economics, like maintaining a monthly budget to make sure you're tracking all your expenses and revenues.
Yeah. Which I mean,
Brandy school.
we should have both home economics and wood shop because
They should really teach people about credit. I think that's the big problem, that they don't teach people how credit works.
Right.
And then
When I
people
was
finance a 10-year-old car at 24.99%.
Right.
When I was first getting a credit card, I went into a bank and they say that, like, oh, we have these secured credit cards for your first one, so you can get it with no
Yeah,
credit and you can slowly build up your credit. I
Right.
went in, I got rejected for that. And even the lady at the bank was like, I didn't even know these existed. What's even the point? How are you supposed to get credit if you can't even get one of these?
Mhm.
Even the lady at the bank didn't understand what even the point was. The whole point of a secure credit card is that you have
Yeah.
to actively fund it, so it's basically just a debit card.
Right. Well, you can charge more interest off an unsecured line of credit, so that's better for them. So that was your first mistake, Ryan. Trying to look out for your own.
Well, my
finances.
first mistake was being born in a capitalist society where you need credit to get credit.
Yeah.
You need
You
job
need work
experience
experience to get work experience. Yes.
Oh, I gotta turn on my Raspberry Pi.
What the
Raspberry Pi
world needs now.
controls my replicators. Yes.
I gotta say, okay, but all the hookiness aside, this is a good metaphor for love doesn't have boundaries, love doesn't have distinctions.
Which would be a good message if it weren't totally undermined by the fact that the Cloud is going to
Take over
possess a
someone's
woman
mind.
so that he doesn't have to worry about the interspecies thing.
Yeah. You don't know anything, Kirk. Shut up.
Sure they
Shut
can.
up.
They join all the time. They've been joining for 150 years. Sure it can. Kirk, you're just being racist against clouds. I don't know how her getting a new body makes them less separate.
It's like you can't be together.
I mean, if the end of the episode was the companion like possessing Zephram Cochrane and they share the mind, that would make them.
That would have been better.
That would at least make them not separate.
It's hard to do that on a TV screen though, because you can't express
No. That's super easy. All you
like-
do is you get that overlay of the companion on top of Cochrane, and then you fade it out, and
He
you
hugs himself
like give him
at
a
the end
little
of it.
echo on his voice or something.
He just hugs himself. How about that?
Shrink it into
You have
him.
two actors read the line, and you just play the woman's voice on top of his.
Yeah, Zephram, it's time for you to die. You've been bypassing your limit a little bit too long. We'll bring your body back to Earth. We'll give you a hero's welcome.
All right, I'm confused.
I
So,
what?
Oh my god.
does anybody use
We've-
Octopi?
We found a
Octoprint?
girl. We found a girl
No.
for Zephram Cochrane.
Yes, she's
One-
not sick anymore, Bones. She's dead.
She's resurrected. And she's blinking a certain way. One thing though, in Enterprise, right? They point out that Zephram Cochrane talked about the Borg in his senile days. There was like the cybernetic beings that attacked Earth. Well, we all thought he was crazy.
See, the same echo that they're putting on Nancy, they could put on Zephram Cochrane.
Good thing Miss Hedford was attractive because, you know, if Zephram wasn't into her, then, you know, they would probably have to pick Spock or something. Or we could just let Zephram Cochrane die, an old man. Give him a proper burial. And then you could even bring him back on the
Got-
Nexus.
Assimilated by a cloud.
All right, so
But Star Trek has a great tradition of non-corporeal beings, and I think this is probably the best one in the original series. Because you actually see the cloud, not like the Trillion's parents flashing lights. Yes, loneliness. That's why we're all here, because you two could not find a single other person in the entire galaxy. Yes, very lonely. You need to move on to bigger and better things. This alcoholic who just likes to drink and dance to Doobie Doobie.
doobie doobie,
So,
doobie doobie.
Oh, she fixes technology too? Nice.
well, it was more that she was like putting up
Sabotaging.
some fields to stop it in the first place. Now she's
Oh,
chilled
wait.
out a bit.
We have a little Vaseline on the camera, right? Oh.
So I took over this vessel. It is mine now.
I'm so glad we got a brunette for Zephram Cochrane.
What?
They're really glamming up her looks and her hair.
I would like to
marriage.
propose an alternate ending where instead of them going on a date in a minute and then staying together with this body, their companion's like, "Oh, I am a human now. I understand the value of a human life. You may go, and I will release the I will release Commissioner Hedford." If the
It's a bit late.
companion cured her and
Yeah.
let them go.
She's only alive because the companion is
Oh
inhabiting her.
man,
I don't know if I count her as
this
alive.
is more complicated than I thought.
Look, this music is so romantic. We should just enjoy the episode because now we have a happy ever after plot
But
resolution.
Headford just got murdered.
Happily ever after. I like the microchip on his sleeve. So future. All right, now I need to find me a companion, Cloud.
Would you
Yes.
date a Cloud that murdered somebody?
No. No.
Even if it was a very pretty Cloud?
I would be. I think I would be happy loving a Cloud, but I don't think that if you loved a Cloud, then you started loving a physical body. You couldn't separate it in your head. Like, you're this body now. I have to like it.
Fuck this. I'm sorry.
Like, I remember when I first heard Ryan's voice on the stream, I thought he was a chubby blonde dude. And it turns out he's kind of a skinny guy with dark hair. So sometimes, we just when the image in our head doesn't match the image in our mind or reality.
Chubby blonde dude.
I don't know why. You just sound like you eat good. Let me mute myself.
So the Cloud's gonna let them go, right? It's gonna give Nancy back her body and they can leave, right?
They should be able to leave, by the way. I don't know about giving back the body. They should be able to fly out of here and visit the galaxy like Moriarty. I was in a relationship with a girl for like 4 years before a friendship before I realized she liked me. So this can happen.
Wow.
That was the most boring kiss ever. Come on, you guys have been like at each other for years on the 130 years. And that's it. Boring. She's gonna leave you once she finds someone better, Zeph.
No, you see, they're going to stay here and die on this barren rock together. So it's all gonna be fine. There's literally nobody else.
So, are we
Yeah,
gonna
no,
get an
Spock,
episode
I'm with you.
where, where it's just Nancy on the planet waiting for her next victim?
I don't know if she can take victims anymore. I think
Yeah.
taking a flesh body limited her powers.
Okay, good.
Taking a flesh body.
Oh, okay, so now they both will die. Okay, good.
Yeah, they're both mortal.
Nice. Yeah, welcome back to physical reality, Zephyr.
Is it good for growing things? I'm pretty sure this is the only area on the planet with vegetation.
I don't see a sun, I just see purple sky.
I'm looking for a Raspberry Pi enclosure that has a monitor and a keyboard.
Wait, purple, shouldn't they look purple too? Because the sunlight is being filtered through that atmosphere?
Yeah.
That doesn't come from AliExpress. Has anyone ever ordered anything off AliExpress? I feel like I could get my credit card information stolen using AliExpress.
It's pretty reliable.
That's it.
in that
It's
regard.
inclusive. This isn't canon because it's not mentioned as a report.
It's not what? Canon because what?
Oh, don't worry, we'll find
Because
another
Chad
woman
doesn't mention anything.
somewhere to stop that war.
Okay. I guess we're not worried about the war anymore.
No, we're still worried about the war a little bit. We're just not concerned about the woman.
Okay, Nancy's peace negotiation.
We'll find another woman somewhere.
Try to inoculate them.
Whatever.
Okay. Last
Glenn-
episode
Glenn
is
is
Journey to
everything.
Babel.
We get to meet Amanda and Sarek. Funny thing, in TNG, there's a line where Sarek has another wife, and we get to meet his second wife, because obviously Vulcans live like 250 years and humans don't.
Vulcans go through humans like humans go through dogs.
Okay.
Basically.
So sad.
Spock hanging out with Captain Kirk is like, oh, you're such a good captain. Yes, you are. And frankly, the intelligence difference is probably comparable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Vulcans
In,
are, that's just how Vulcans are
You're a
written. They're
race- you're a
written to be
species
better
traitor.
than us at everything.
Species traitor. That's what you are.
I don't know what part of me wanting to get rid of my human body made you think I'm loyal to the species. Let's play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Look, I mean, if a chimp says humans are smarter, that chimp isn't wrong.
I welcome our new Vulcan overlords.
They're gonna hold us
They
back.
would run Earth so much better.
You think so, Ryan?
Yeah.
No, I think.
Have you seen how we're running Earth?
Oh, is this the
True.
one where the Andorian tries to assassinate people?
Yes. Well, yeah. It's a peace conference on the Enterprise, and there is somebody out to blow up the.
Typical Andorians.
Someone is. We're not going to say who.
Dang, that's a lot of security.
I love this episode because it shows us the Andorian Tellarite rudeness that they show in Enterprise. Your mother was a.
Oh, there's
Pig.
there's the shuttlecraft Columbus on the right. I don't know if that's canon either.
Galileo, Copernicus, and Columbus.
He's actually the large shuttle base set, technically.
Yeah.
Wait, now we're playing the Amok Time music? What's happening?
Because Vulcans are coming.
But this is fight music.
Yeah, it's ritual music too.
Is this totally appropriate?
Ritual.
That hurts worse than the uniform. Come on. Dr. McCoy.
Mark Leonard, the Great. First appearance of Sarek on the show.
First appearance of the Vulcan salute, I believe that was.
Oh, really? Wow. So Spock here is acting like he doesn't know Sarek and Amanda, which is the funniest thing because this episode is setting itself up. Oh, they're in dress uniform. Looking snazzy.
Doctor, it's not that hard. Come on.
If no one here present at the moment has met has met Amanda from Strange New Worlds at the moment.
Here, who is my wife? I was also a
and
Romulan. that
they're doing
fought you
the
earlier.
two fingers touching thing that Tuvok does in Voyager when they think they're about to go home and he thinks about his wife. They just like caress fingers. But it's funny, I remember my mom, she was telling me how her parents, like she's never even seen her father like PDA her mother. People just didn't do PDAs back then.
Spock has parents? It cannot be.
You were not supposed to know that. He's trying to hide this.
Spock doesn't talk about his family. He has
Well, in this episode,
a
actually, they said
secret
they
wife,
haven't-
secret parents, a secret brother, and a secret sister.
Right. But
Does he have
they-
more than one secret brother?
I think Cybok's the only one, right?
Yeah.
Does he have
Okay.
2? Or is
So
there something
far.
in the animated series?
But
Don't know. But I do like that line where he's like, I can't hurt him. He's my brother. And he's like, I get it, Spock. He's a fellow Vulcan, but no, you don't understand. He's my literal brother.
yeah, from my father, not my mother. But they also mentioned this episode they have not spoken in 13 years. So there's this weird no relationship with my child thing going on, which is also a
Oh.
recurring theme in Star Trek.
Spock also has a stepmom, Perrin, of course. So his whole direct family is Sarek, Amanda, Perrin, Michael, Cybok. I think that's everyone.
DC
So far.
Fontana
We
wrote
might
this
get more.
episode, which will forever go down as one of the greatest. I really like what is it, Strange New Worlds, Amanda? Because she talks about how she had to develop thick skin to be like a human wife on Vulcan.
Literal
Here, too.
thick skin for their
Yeah.
whole tea thing.
Yeah. That's what I'm. Yeah, thanks.
Four
So-
years.
Spock has no relationship to his parents. Kind of weird, because how are they role models?
Okay. All right.
Oh, he doesn't want to witness that. They're
He
touching fingers all inappropriately.
so here, Kirk's like, give him a tour. He's like, yeah, I'm not giving my dad a tour. You can go find someone else.
Kirk's just screwing with him. He knows they're
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Shame.
Well, we learn in Discovery why there is this massive, massive rift between them. Because it's more on Sarek than it is on Spock, because Sarek chose
Was
to
making
allow
secret deals.
Burnham to go to Starfleet and chose for Spock to be in the Vulcan Science
Science
Academy or
Academy.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
then Spock
Cancel.
decided not to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right. He was given
that
entry,
really.
and he turned down the entry.
Yeah.
I sent a print job to my 3D printer without putting without loading filament in the printer. Whoops. Actually, I didn't need to cancel it. I could have got it loaded before the hot end got hot, but
18 years is a freaking long time. I don't think. Well, not if you live to 250.
Comparatively, that's like only not talking to someone for 9 years.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Amanda, it's the Starfleet.
Also, the Vulcan Science Academy is way more prestigious than Starfleet Academy. So
They don't do anything.
it's like getting
Everything we hear
accepted-
about the Vulcan Science Academy is them proposing theories and Starfleet proving them wrong.
the Vulcan
Yeah.
Science Academy has determined that time travel is impossible.
Yep.
Spock literally time travels the Enterprise all the time.
Look, I mean, our
The
science
Vulcan
has-
Science Academy is coasting by on name recognition, but they don't hold high
Yeah.
educational standards.
And then also in what is it, Star Trek 1 or 2? Spock is asked by the computer on Vulcan, "How do you feel?" And it's like,
Oh,
"What?"
that's 4, because that's after he dies.
Okay, thank you. But the computer doesn't just ask you nerdy questions; it asks you like all kinds of questions.
It can't be 4 because 4 starts immediately at the end. It must be 2. It was
is-
2, right?
It is 4. It is 4.
No, it's 4 because they've just recovered Spock and they're on Vulcan and having him
Yeah.
recover,
And
and they're giving
ordered
him
to-
tests to see if his
Oh.
brain is back to where it is.
And also,
Where
right,
it
and
should be.
Scotty and the whole crew is still on the bird of prey on Vulcan.
Also, why did they paint
Oh
these people
yeah,
bronze?
that's right. Yeah, sorry about that.
So, is it wrong to use midgets like this?
That is the incorrect phrasing.
Sorry.
Dwarves.
But that's what I'm like at a conference too. I drink up all the booze.
Hmm.
Okay.
You don't have to be a dick about it.
I also like
Nobody does.
the two actors in
There,
hoods in the
look at their
background.
eyes.
Yeah.
They don't actually conform to the eye socket on the actor. They're just dangling.
Oh, look, there's two Jedi in the
Oh,
back.
Babel. It is Babel. What is that
Oh, the
accent?
Tellarites.
Who's this
Like
guy?
insulting. So this is not how you do a diplomatic conference. You don't. It looks like the UN right now. We condemn the bombing. It's like, well,
Corridon.
we will not.
We've heard about Corridon. Aren't they in Enterprise? I think Corridon is the planet
Yeah.
where Archer and T'Pol get kidnapped by like a radical faction, and Jeffrey
Mhm.
Combs has to go save them.
Mm-hmm. There was like a bad female character too, right? That was killed. A security guard. Oh, right. So here it's established Spock is half human. Well, I mean,
Well, that part we already knew.
that's true. He in the first season he called him a mongrel or half blood. So Spock doesn't want to talk about his embarrassing childhood. And here they describe a Sailot as a teddy bear, but it's not a teddy bear. I mean, I know I'm such a fanboy, but I would ask
Well,
Spock about his Sailot.
I mean, not a teddy bear toy, but a teddy bear, like a grizzly bear.
Kodiak. So Sarek pulls his wife out as soon as she starts telling embarrassing non-Vulcan
As far as I
stories.
can tell, Vulcan society seems to treat the wife as the property of the husband because he keeps giving orders.
Yeah.
Well, we see in Strange New Worlds that it does have the reverse as well.
True.
I also noticed on that platter of fruit, there was like a single giant blueberry that was like 4 inches across.
I feel like those fruits are made of Play-Doh because those colors are so crazy.
Yeah, no, they're not real fruits. But one of them's a giant Play-Doh blueberry that's like 4 feet across, 4 inches across. I have no idea what that ship is. It doesn't look Vulcan or Andorian.
Did you have a teddy bear growing up, Ryan?
What?
It looks a bit like an Orion from that.
Looks a little Orion, yeah.
Say a lot. In Star Trek animated series, which we will be watching at some point, Spock has a pet Sailot that dies, and so many people wrote in saying that, like, oh my god, when my dog died, this episode helped me so much. The Sailot's more like a saber-tooth tiger.
It is illogical to embarrass someone.
I had a
Hmm.
polar bear teddy bear named Buzzy.
See,
So
Sarek's looking out for him. So don't embarrass him in front of his friends. Oh, you don't have to insult him, though.
she hasn't figured this out yet. He's very prideful. Like, you wouldn't be wounded if your son went to a different college, but you are. I went to Yale, and my son shouldn't be going to Harvard.
Don't just leave her dangling, Sarek. There you go.
Why did Sarek marry another human, though? That's my question.
He's got a thing for humans.
Clearly, he
That's all there's to it.
fetishizes humans. That's all.
Okay. I thought Amanda was unique, but
He
I
likes
guess-
their ears.
Oh, that is an Orion ship, isn't it?
Are they pirates? Or are they scientists? Because not all Orions are pirates.
Yes, they are.
No,
Every single one of them.
most of them.
They're like how all Klingons are soldiers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Enterprise for showing us the Klingon scientists because it's like you get no resources in your society.
The Klingon the best Klingon was the lawyer, who is also
Mm.
Martok.
Yes.
The
Martok
lawyer
lawyer.
who was also Worf.
No, Martok. Not
What
the
about the lawyer
Worf
who was
lawyer, the
also Worf?
Martok lawyer.
Yeah, that was General Worf in Star Trek 6. Arguably the
Worf
grandfather.
lawyer didn't really do anything. He was just there as a cameo.
His grandfather's cameo. Okay. So when we have the vote in the UN Security Council, that's when we talk about the vote. Until then, you can't just accost people and ask them their opinion.
Sure you can. He just did it.
That's not how diplomacy works.
Oh yeah, we totally want it in the Federation then.
Yes.
Yeah.
The alternate Terran universe episode talks about that planet also had dilithium mining going on, and basically the Klingons and the Federation are competing throughout the whole galaxy for dilithium planets. I wish
I
diplomats would
wish
slug
they
each
would
other.
stun the Tellarite.
No, if diplomats slugged each other, it would be a better world.
Historically, politics has had a lot of this, with politicians just attacking each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was a period in American history where all the congressmen started carrying guns into the
Also,
feel like
into
we should
session.
go back to that.
Somebody was
Just-
beat with a cane on the Senate floor in the Civil
Yeah.
War. Like, but no, to be honest, that's when you know your democracy is a real crap show, because you're not supposed to hit each other. You're
Bill,
supposed
put
to
your
fight.
shirt on. God.
They make up over his nipples too.
Did they? They
Well,
just look like nipples to
A
me.
little bit. No, they a little bit.
Yeah, they got
They
a
I
lighten
think a
them
little
up.
bit, yeah. I
They
think
got
so.
foundation.
Put a little concealer on them.
Maybe he just has light colored nipples. I don't know. Have you seen Bill Shatner without the makeup?
He had those
All
nipples
right,
in
hold
the
on.
season 1 Android
Shirtless
episode. Remember, he was
William
like totally naked
Shatner.
and he was spun around in a centrifuge, so we could see his natural nipples.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna find a picture of him. It's not from Star Trek, and he has normal colored nipples. As
But by the way,
his nipples are slightly darker than the surrounding skin.
you also
Okay.
understand he has chest hair normally, right? And that image of him had no chest hair.
Well,
Here's
that's
a
not going to
picture of
affect the color.
85-year-old William Shatner with
Oh
no
my
shirt
god!
on.
Please don't.
I can't post it in general because it's
Please.
automatically gonna get
Yeah.
deleted.
Discord will
Yeah.
ban you. Yes.
No, he's got a thing that just filters anytime there's like
As it-
sufficient.
Look, I don't want to be sitting here on Discord 24 hours a day looking for stuff to delete.
85-year-old William Shatner without a shirt. Thanks. Thank you, Ryan.
He's got a chest like Elon Musk. Like 85-year-old William Shatner and Elon Musk have the same physique.
Because your physique is so great.
It's better than theirs.
Look, after a certain point of success in career or money, you can be out of shape.
But you know what? If I was the world's richest man, I would be in shape. I
Why?
would
That
make that
requires so much
a
effort.
high priority. But you
I-
can look, you can have the best chefs and trainers that get you into shape.
Right, and you don't have to do a day job or clean dishes or anything.
Yeah,
like
you don't really have to do anything if you
Right.
don't want to.
that, except get in shape. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would be like, all right, I'm taking this year as a gap year just to get into shape. And then
So
I'm getting crazy. Like I would be like 2% body fat.
I remember watching a movie commentary on the last Harry Potter movie, and the guy who played Ron never got into shape, even though you have like 8 movies, and you never bothered to like get rid of that gut
Why would he?
because you have time
Leave
and
him
money
alone.
now. Okay.
He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
We have time now. There's time
Besides,
now.
I'm not sure that Ron Weasley would really be a gym bro.
Yeah.
That'd be weird if he was shredded.
I'm just saying,
I mean, everybody's magical. Could they
Like-
just magic themselves a six pack?
I shouldn't talk, but like having a big gut, it's really bad for your long life reasons. Your
Metabolism?
metabolism.
You wouldn't have to worry about the size of your gut if you just replaced your body with a metal one.
Right.
You could just plug in and charge.
Yeah, but okay, how about this, Ryan? What if you no longer had the sense of taste or touch? You
Yeah, I don't
wouldn't
need
do
it.
What?
That
You
thing
give
you
up-
sent me, Ryan, was where did you find that?
I googled ideal body robot.
Yeah. It's good. He found this robot that looks like it was. It's made to look like it was from the 19th century. It has like 1890 something on it, and
Here,
it's
I'll
holding
put it
a
in the general
Martini Henry
chat.
rifle. Yeah, this is like a sculpture somebody made, obviously.
The
But I want to know
ideal
where
body.
it's from. It's not an
It's
AI
very
image.
the devil's robot from Chaotica. Satan's robot, excuse me.
Here, I want
A
to show you
little
something
less
real quick.
duct tubing. Stop saying sensors. God.
Yes, it's definitely an Orion vessel.
The Orion's, Captain. We know this already. Come on.
I had the AI generate some images here, and there was some interesting results. Let me show you. Let's see. I call this Johnny Eight Fingers.
That's just a dude.
And Mikey Two Rights. But look at the right image. His left hand has got 8 fingers.
Okay.
There was a really good Strange New Worlds episode where
There are many very good Strange New Worlds episodes.
Yeah.
where I think who was it? It's Spock, or is it the Captain Pike who figures out that the aliens, they're mean, but you also have to like tell them the truth in a way. It's Anson Mount, Captain Pike. You have to tell them the truth in a way that like looks out for their interests, and then they see you as credible. Brilliant diplomacy though, because the Federation wants them to join, and Pike actually convinces them not to.
I have to also remember this episode in full now.
All right, so the hilarious is this where Spock is on the same surgery table as his dad, and Spock's like, I have to go upstairs, and McCoy's like, go back to sedate him, nurse. Who cares about the ship? Like Spock is just willing to let his father die on the operating table, like happily. But jokes aside, Sarek appearing on TNG, Unification. Oh my god, like I can't believe this series sometimes. Like Picard even mind melds with Sarek, which gives him incredible memories and experience and knowledge. It really does
So
wonders.
where does so Sarek has a severe medical condition apparently. He's having regular heart attacks, and he's just ignoring it.
Yeah.
Cryogenic Spock. So they're gonna
So
freeze his heart and then swap some parts around.
when you think about it, open heart surgery is pretty much like the miracle of miracles, because everything's still running and you're replacing the beating organ.
T negative.
What does that mean?
So it's green plus red, which makes orange, maroon.
Could I at least get a metal heart? Because the heart. Cardiovascular disease is one of the leading causes of death in America.
The number
Could
one.
I at least replace
Mhm.
this part?
Yeah.
It's
That would
just
be
a
useful.
pump.
I mean, we're getting closer and closer to pig pancreas and a pig heart being put in our bodies. Like one guy just survived a pig pancreas installed, and one guy just died, since it's still experimental.
How do you work for Starfleet and you've never worked on a Vulcan?
I think the two fleets are
Uh,
still kind of separate.
And he's like
At this
87
point-
years old.
At this point in the lore, Vulcans are still like a mysterious thing, and that hadn't been all fleshed out yet.
Remember, we didn't even know about the Ponfar. I was actually watching the Voyager episode where Tuvok has Ponfar, and he doesn't even want to talk about it. He goes, "Ask the doctor, don't ask me." So it's still like a taboo subject, which most people don't know about. The 7 years. I'm so glad we got Mark Leonard in time for TNG. And we have to remember
Ah. Because Spock doesn't have enough blood somehow. So he can just make more blood. He can just have some cookies afterwards. It'll be good.
there's something called the plasma blood donation, where like they put the red blood cells back and they just take out the plasma cells.
It's where they take
Mhm.
your blood and subject it to extremely high temperatures to raise the energy level, so the
Mhm.
electrons ionize.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I had a coworker who did that, and she said it took like way longer. And they try to convince you to do it because you get more blood back in your body, even though they take out the plasma. And it's way better because some people need more plasma donations, like especially cancer patients and stuff. But she said by the time it was done, she had no energy. It took her like 30 minutes to walk down the block, like she was 90 years old. So she was very drained, and she said she would never do it again, no matter how much it benefits other people.
Well,
to just
there's a way around that, which is if
Mhm.
you got an experimental drug from Rigel 5,
Mhm.
you just replace it real quick. Super easy. Go
Mhm,
home.
mhm, mhm.
I didn't
Also-
see how we got into this situation again.
Yeah, no, there are a few missing scenes in here. This is just a sudden cut.
I look that the Tellarites
Kirk, what was
and Andorians.
He didn't even hit the Andorian when he fell down. He just hit the wall and fell.
There was no need to jump on the wall either.
Oh, he hurt his own back.
No, he was stabbed in the back.
It's like I remember when I was a kid and in high school, like somebody said, throw a punch. And I put my thumb in between my fingers.
Oh,
wrapped in.
wrecked.
And the guy was like,
Wrecked.
if you punch somebody with your thumb in your fist, you're going to break your thumb with the punch. So don't do
Yup.
that.
That's correct.
This is why you buy brass knuckles.
Yeah.
You will have to
No.
hide them from the cops.
If you just haven't
know-
been in a fight, just don't start now.
Concealed carrying brass knuckles illegal.
Yeah.
In most
Ownership
places.
of brass
Concealed
knuckles in California is
carrying-
illegal.
Yeah. Oh, that's a funny story about that. So the game Mafia, I think it was Mafia or Godfather. There was some like Mafia game, like noir
Yes.
RPG game. They sent out these like special boxes to reviewers.
They sent out special crime boxes.
And the boxes had a brass knuckles in them, and they had to ask for them back from all the
Wow.
people in California. Yeah. But I was just gonna say, like, carrying brass knuckles illegal in many places. Carrying guns concealed, not illegal in many places.
Well, the thing with brass knuckles is it's a lot easier to kill somebody unintentionally. A gun is lethal. Brass knuckles don't necessarily feel lethal, but very much are.
Oh well, punching
Really?
someone without brass knuckles can be
That makes sense.
lethal. Oh yeah,
But
getting
with
punched
brass
can kill
knuckles, you just
even
shatter
without
people's
brass knuckles.
bones and just...
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
people
a gun
don't
you
realize
gotta
how dangerous it is to get punched.
right. Happens like also the fall when you hit your head on the fall that
That too.
easy too. Yeah.
I think at this point we have more permitless carry states than we have permit carry states. I think it's like 26, 24, or 27, 24, 23.
Is
Something
Kirk
like
the
that.
one giving blood or is Spock giving blood? I kind of
Spock is
lost-
giving blood using an experimental drug to make him make blood faster.
okay, but why is Kirk on the operating table on the?
Because he got stabbed.
Because he was stabbed, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So now they have
I
to
thought-
choose: do they give the blood to Kirk or do they give the blood to Sarek?
I thought he injured
Well,
his back.
no,
and
this is
jumped in the
super
wall.
easy because they said
They put the human
apparently
stuff
his
in
blood is
Kirk.
like 50% Vulcan, 50% human. So they just split it out and give Sarek the Vulcan half and Kirk the human half.
Yeah, perfect.
Which sounds
and
really
is-
stupid, but I'm pretty sure that's actually what's going to happen.
This Andorian is so
is-
evil.
Is Spock have the right human factors for Kirk? Because if you
Probably.
give somebody the wrong
Negative blood is like AB positive. It goes into everyone.
AB positive is universal acceptor. O negative is universal donor.
So T negative is both of them.
T negative would have to be O negative to give it to Kirk reliably.
It's a universal donor and a universal receiver.
No, it's not.
There's a T blood type.
No, it's
So that's what I'm
imaginary.
saying. So that's what I'm saying. Imaginary world, it's both a universal donor and a universal receiver.
I don't think that logic tracks.
Something though in this early galaxy, we're still fighting over planets and their resources. Even though, like I remember watching The Expanse, and the creators of the show, they were like, there's no economic reason to go into space because everything's down here. And I'm like, that's so not right because you just find
We don't
one
need
asteroid.
economic reasons.
They
It's
have
awesome.
there's an asteroid that's like
Yeah.
worth
$100
$100 trillion
quintillion
of raw materials.
Yeah.
Just floating. They're like, we should capture it and put it in Earth's orbit. That nothing could
Yeah,
go
just
wrong.
tractor it to our planet, this giant thousands and
Civilization
thousands of tons
destroying
asteroid. Yeah,
asteroid. Yeah.
a few hundred
No,
miles wide, it'll be fine.
NASA sending
Think of the profit.
NASA sending a satellite to that thing in November or so. Oh, we're in
Yeah,
November.
but it doesn't have a tractor beam
Right.
or a grappler. God, we need a...
So that's
Well,
what I'm
we
saying,
have
like, just
grapplers.
There's plenty of economic reason because we could solve poverty overnight if you imported all
Look,
that
the
nickel.
risk
No, it
of
wouldn't
completely
solve
annihilating the
poverty. It would
planet is
cause
nothing compared
hyperinflation.
to the short-term quarterly gains.
Right.
Everyone who like is really excited for post scarcity doesn't understand like basic economics and what would happen if all of a sudden nobody had to work for anything.
Well, that's fine as long as we make sure we have robots that can maintain society and themselves.
So
And also, we're
AI
already post scarcity in that, like,
right. We can make enough to
we stopped the
house and feed
Malthusian
everyone.
trap. So,
Mm-hmm.
like,
We stopped the what?
What does evolution do
the
now that
Malthusian
everybody
trap,
can
when, like,
survive?
it's no longer the case that
There's too many people than resources.
that population inevitably soaks up all the, like, it used to be that
Versus
as
food.
we increased resources, population increased, and quality of life didn't get any better because of our population, but it stopped happening.
Now we
Like
can
a while
genetically
ago,
modify
like we-
our food.
So what you're saying is we should start like burning our crops to reintroduce stronger competition.
No, I'm saying, like, we've
Oh,
already
yeah.
reached the point where scarcity isn't actually the
Yeah.
like
We can put everybody in a home.
isn't actually a defining characteristic of it.
There's no
Like,
shortage
Well,
of bricks in the world. There's
to-
no
to-
shortage of wheat in the world.
To qualify that statement, we might have enough stuff,
Yeah.
but not everybody. It's not distributed
exactly.
such that people.
Right.
Whereas it used to be that there just wasn't enough stuff for everybody.
Right. Like if you had 15 kids, they like some of them would starve. But now you could have 15 kids and none of them would starve.
Now there's not enough stuff to go around for 100 people. Because they need more.
Right.
Always more.
So Kirk can't come upstairs because he's down there.
Wait. Why does he have a towel covering his nipples?
Because he was
Yes.
stabbed there.
He was
No, he
he
was-
was stabbed lower down on his
In the
back.
stomach. It went through his lower abdomen.
But it was like
No,
a full
he said
foot
that it
lower than where
punctured
that
his heart,
towel
punctured his
is.
lung up the top, and if it was
No.
lower, it would have hit his heart.
But when the Andorian stabbed him, it came out through his gut. Yeah, so Kirk can't come up, and Sarah can't. Yeah, so Kirk is putting himself on the line here because he's not medically able to sit on the bridge. Right, we can't save Sarek until we have Spock down here, and we can't get Spock down here until we get Kirk up there, and Kirk is still injured.
Yep, Kirk's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. He's got his girdle. He can manage.
I love it. He has to like hold a grimace in his face, like Spock. I'm fine.
Oh, that Captain, are you quite all right line? That's also used in Prodigy during that, the whole reusing everybody's voice lines bit.
Yeah.
All this together.
Yeah, it's like when you stub your toe and you gotta hold your face.
Yep. Don't sit down in the chair because you physically cannot do that. No, Kirk, no.
Ouch. He's such a great actor because he's leaning on his side like he's in significant pain.
No, you should probably get Mr. Scott up here. Or Sulu. Or
Yeah.
Back then, like in
Uhura.
war, most wounds, like stomach wounds, it's a lot of pain because like your gut has so many nerve receptors.
Did you say back then it's a lot of
Yeah,
pain? Are
like,
you
I mean,
not injured
sorry.
by stab wounds these days?
Like we used to bayonet soldiers on the battlefield to like finish them off. Like you didn't have to shoot somebody; you could just put the bayonet in their
Fun
gut.
fact,
Shooting
bayoneting
helps.
people will still kill them these days.
So
It
thanks
turns
to
out
Kirk-
humans are still susceptible to stab wounds.
Yeah. But yeah, gut is a lot of pain. Like, ugh.
Also, did you know that multiple stab wounds may be harmful to monkeys? There was a scientific experimentation where, they stabbed monkeys in the side, in the leg, in the eye sockets, and it always killed them. But
Jesus.
whenever they punched monkeys, no matter how many times they punched them, they would only suffer like blunt trauma and bruising, which means that the effects of stab wounds are more physical than psychological.
Hmm.
Phew.
I don't know what you were talking about, Ryan. It sounds very disturbing. But
Yeah.
the thing is, though, Spock just had an idea that could save the ship, and he needs to go to the bridge. And McCoy's like, tranquilize him. And nobody cares
What?
about
Oh,
this.
he's not actually an Andorian, is he? Oh no.
What?
Also, if you would like a reference to monkeys, you can check the Discord general chat.
Why doesn't he have
It's a very important study.
Why doesn't he have a communicator?
Because he's an Orion collaborator.
So it's only in movies these days they say, oh, no animals were harmed in the making of this production. It's like, that was never a priority before.
Shields? Whoa. First mention. Shields.
Wow.
It happened. They're no longer deflector screens.
Mind you, Kirk is still bleeding from his gut. Right here.
And or his chest, depending on
Yeah.
what scene we're in.
Right.
Maybe a little slow there. So the crew doesn't know that they're Orions yet. It's just speedy ship.
That's injured Kirk.
Oh, wouldn't that be a shame, Bones? Are we sure we don't want to get Mr. Scott up here as like a backup captain? Because you're near collapse. Seems dangerous.
Yeah, but the only thing is, though, Spock would have refused to come down if Kirk
Yeah, but
was
he's
still
not
in-
here anymore. He's not going to know.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. This is a life or death thing for the whole ship right now, which is why they should have listened to Spock when he was like, the reading on that ship needs to be fluctuating.
Yeah, it was supposed to stop. We're replacing it.
Wait, is Bone smoking a cigarette? Okay, right. So they're doing surgery in like low light, low electricity conditions.
Yes, open heart surgery, but some continuity. He's doing it sort of to the side instead of on the chest because Vulcans.
Mm.
Nice.
Well, you know, fun fact though, nobody's anatomy looks like the medical textbook. Everybody has their stomach a little bit up or a little bit down or lean to the right. I haven't actually done surgery, but I imagine it's very confusing if you expect it to look one way.
So,
and it's-
if the reason we still have Kirk on the bridge is because this is a life or death critical situation,
Yeah.
how come our navigator and tactical are both two randos?
Yep.
Because look, Chekhov's the one
Where's
doing Spock's
Sulu?
job. So Chekhov's targeting the way Spock would.
But where's Sulu?
Probably fencing.
He
with
wasn't
an
even
enemy.
in the last couple episodes, was he?
No. If it was a modern day
Because
episode,
in TNG, every actor shows up in every episode with
Mhm.
only like a couple of exceptions. In TOS, it seems a lot more like
Mhm.
Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are the only ones who are contractually obligated to be there.
Right.
Everyone else just sort of cycles.
Right. It's true though. We shouldn't have random people at the con.
I mean, within universe, I'm sure they're perfectly qualified, just as qualified as Sulu and whoever
Mhm.
tactical is.
Mhm,
Chekhov, I think, actually.
Yeah, well, Chekhov was targeting. You know, when he said clean miss.
Well, he's hanging out at Spock's station,
yeah,
just looking
yeah.
at stuff.
That's where
He's
the
at a science station.
That's where the scanner is, I think. The scientific scanner, not the navigational scanner, or targeting scanner.
See, now Chekhov's taking back over tactical.
Kirk is like hunched over because he's in such pain. He can barely gesture to Chekhov.
We're playing dead, Chekhov. Come on, I thought that was obvious.
I always think I can handle pain just fine, and then I get like a really bad cold, and then my muscles start like aching, and I'm like, I can't tolerate pain whatsoever. Ah, pain is really debilitating. So Kirk is the master of strategy, if you didn't know.
This strategy, of course, will be repeated by Kern during the Klingon Civil War. No,
That
by
was in
Worf.
DS9?
Kern
Yeah.
does a different strategy. It's repeated by Worf.
DS9?
No, in Redemption?
Okay.
When
where
Worf
his
goes to
house-
hang out with Gowron.
Okay.
Dang, you took off like half the ship. That thing was a glass cannon. Hailing frequency with what? Half the ship is missing. Everybody's dead. Well, now everyone's definitely dead. I like the fact the explosion was blue, though.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, thank God for Kirk. Yeah, so unfortunately, Spock would not have been able to win that battle. Scotty would not have been able to win that battle. He looks so sad.
Oh, is he about to, like, yeah, bite down on a pill?
Potassium cyanide.
What if Spock's blood is the antidote?
Yeah, I mean,
Nope. No, he's just pretending. Take him to sickbay. He's a fake.
so Andorians are not members of the Federation. Well, he's not.
Yeah, they
really.
are. This guy's not an Andorian.
Sorry. But even the Tellarites, they act so unfederation-like. I'm just glad we didn't get Tellarites in TNG.
Did we not? Was there?
Not like Enterprise.
Yeah, I can't think of one, actually.
Yeah. Amanda has like the best wardrobe we've seen yet.
Oh dear. Okay.
So yeah, we never figured... Okay, now Spock
Damn.
figured it out. Well,
at
you
least it didn't
can't
take-
raid a system if there's Federation starships hanging out. Oh, well, if they never intended to return home, they should have just rammed the Enterprise. That would have been way more efficient.
And also that explains why it went so fast that like you couldn't even target the ship.
Yeah. Because they had no worry about
Mm-hmm.
structural
They had no
damage to the
shield, which
ship.
is why the ship came
Yeah.
apart with one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had no worry about the structural damage from going at high warp.
It's like making a car out of tinfoil. It'll go fast.
The highest praise a Vulcan can give. Spock acted logically.
Hmm.
You've been married to this guy. You had a kid. You live on the planet,
You know.
and you're sick
Stop
of
saying the
watching-
word logical, Mark.
So, father and son are now on speaking terms. So this was a good episode.
Are they?
Yeah, because usually
Are they,
Star Trek
though?
parents are the worst, and here Spock actually works it out. Okay,
Oh, I love this scene.
me too.
If you listen to the Christmas song, "You're a Mean One, Mr. Spock," several of these
You're a
lines get
mean one,
used.
No, but
Mr.
I like
Grinch.
Kirk got back into that bed because he's not well. He should not have gotten out of the hospital bed.
All right, the episode is over, which means in this case I'm ending the stream right now because I need to go.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank
The
you,
stream
Ryan.
is over.
Yeah.
We're
Run,
done
Ryan,
here.
Run.
Hardcore.
Hasta la vista.